It's
This
like when we start doing
conference will now
examples.
be recorded.
I
Thank you.
definitely do. Okay, so let's look at this POR calculation. Because once we get it, we simply gonna bring it right here and do that same operation. So on the first line is total overhead. On the second line is total quantity to be produced. On the third line is labor productivity rate. On the fourth line is the number of hours it's going to take us to make it. And we're going to operate the same way. If it takes one or more hours to make the product, we're going to multiply to come up with the total hours. If we can make more than one product an hour, we're going to divide to get the number that goes on line 4. Then line 5 is always line 1 divided by line 4. So line 5 is always line 1 divided by line 4. And whatever we get on line 5, we stick it in here and go with that labor productivity to see if we can get where we need to be. So everybody should have this pulled up, have a copy of it available. So let's look at this simple example that we have here that we're going to work. We're talking about this primer. It takes 1 ream of paper to make the primer. That costs $10 each. It takes 1 ink cartridge to print it. That costs $20 each. The labor rate is $10 an hour, and we make 10 per hour. That is, the worker can make 10 books an hour. The estimated manufacturing overhead is $100,000. The selling price multiple is 4. And we need to get this estimated quantity. And I'll put in parentheses, I didn't leave a place for it, but right here, the selling price is simply going to be what? You see,
4. It'd be 4.
Well, we're just putting in what it's going to be now. You see times what? The SP. So I'm just putting, I didn't have it on there before. I'm just putting this on the chart. So with all my, hopefully, better teaching today than I was last week, I want everybody in the class with this example to calculate total unit cost. Might have help to calculate the POR first, you don't have to. And then fill in my UC, selling price, and POR based on this information. Can y'all do it? Did I teach any better today? Well, the proof will be in how these 28 people perform. So I'm going to give you all 10 minutes. Is that enough time? Or do you need more time?
This should be enough time for me.
Does anybody need more time?
We doing this on the sheet?
Yeah, do you need more time? Yeah, just doing those sheets. Because if you need any more than 10 minutes, then I didn't teach too well. So you all got 10 minutes. Just try to follow it through. Go step by step. Calculate the raw materials cost. Then calculate the labor cost. Then go down here, do your PR, and calculate the unit manufacturing overhead. Then complete these three things on here with these assumptions. So I'm going to check back in 10 minutes at 6 o'clock. Don't check with anybody. Work this yourself so we can see where we are. I was saying right now, I'm gonna call on people who don't have their cameras on. Think that's a good idea?
Possibly.
Has everybody had enough time? All right, so, well, we're going ahead to the, let's go back to the screen. So we'll just see what we're all told, then we come back to it. But what is our unit cost? All right, let's see. Deja, what's our unit cost? Chester?
Can you hear me, Professor?
I can hear you. What's your unit cost?
The selling price or the unit cost?
Unit cost.
I got 51. That's my calculations. I don't know if it's right.
What did you get, Rodney?
I got 231. I think I'm wrong all across the board.
Jennifer, what did you get?
I got 60 as my unit cost.
Malik, what did you get? Taylor, what did you get? Reynoso, what did you get?
I got 50, sir.
You got 50?
Yes, sir.
Starch Hill, what did you get? Tara, what did you get?
51.
Dominique, what did you get?
51.
So we appear to be moving to some consistency on 51. But look at this range from 50 to 231.
Please don't count the 231, Professor.
Yo, if you count it.
Yeah, that's I already knew.
Let's start with the raw materials. We said the paper, how much paper did we need? 1 ream.
10. 1 ream for 10.
Wait a minute, let's see, unit cost is 10. Needed 1 ream. That gave us a total cost of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Then for the ink, the cost of the ink was what?
20. 1 for 20.
1 cartridge was 20. And so our total raw materials cost was 30.
30.
Is there any question from anybody on that 30? Okay, let's go to direct labor. And the problem said what? The rate was what, 10, and we can make 10 per hour.
Mm-hmm.
So the labor rate was $10,
And then you can make 10.
10.
So it's 1.
It's 1.
So this is equivalent to the fact that you bought 10 things for $10, $1 each. So we are divided because what? We can make more than one an item. That gives us the 1. Now we need to go down here, and we know the productivity is going to be 10 again. We will probably divide, but we need a POR number. So let's see if we can get a POR number. What is total overhead?
100,000.
What's the quantity being produced?
5,000.
So, and the labor productivity is what?
1.
10 per hour.
10 per hour. That
Wait,
productivity
Professor,
rate
can you go up to the top real quick, like to the first page?
to the first page.
Yeah. Oh, the one with the units, like where it told you all the. Not that one. The one with the numbers that we get in the beginning.
Here,
Oh yeah, thank you. Let me take a picture of that. Okay.
and I think this should be in Blackboard, okay? I think I sent this to you in Blackboard.
Okay. I'm gonna go check now.
Okay, so line 1, total overhead. Line 2, total quantity to be produced. Line 3, labor rate productivity. How many hours is it going to take us if we can make 10 an hour and we got to make 5,000?
500.
500. And so our POR is going to be what?
200.
Line 1 divided by line 4. So how much is that?
200.
So we're going to come up here and put 200 right here. And since, we divide, so we're going to have to divide the POR by 10. And so what's that going to give us a POR?
20.
That's where I messed up, Professor.
What'd you do?
I didn't divide the 200 by 10.
Okay. So you see that. So we add 30 plus 1 plus 20, what do we get?
51.
51.
51.
1. And so I guess the first number we got was correct. 51. The POR we said was what? 200. We already got a calculator. And what's our selling price going to be?
4.
204.
So 51 times 4 gives you 204.
So we got the selling price multiple was 4. So we're going to simply multiply unit cost times 4 and we get 204. Are there any questions?
No, sir, that's much easier.
Oh, that's much easier to figure. Okay.
I think I try my best.
All right, we're gonna try one more for Emmanuel. We're gonna try one more. So let's go back to our screen. So let's change it. Let's assume that it takes 2 ink cartridges. Okay. So we're gonna assume that it takes 2 ink cartridges. And we can make 5 in an hour. All right, rework it now. How much time should it take you?
10 minutes.
All right, so Emmanuel, I'm gonna call on you in 10 minutes.
Excuse me, are we about to go over this same stuff for the rest of the class period?
No. You're
Okay.
supposed to have your journal entries ready for stage 3 on that, stage 2, I think.
Baby, what you talking about?
You know, we have that demonstration problem that we assign each team apart. Well, I know Towel got it worked, so.
That's all that matter, baby, as long as he on it. Cause I don't know, I'm lost.
Oh, you lost on this? You having trouble doing it?
Oh no, not that type of lost. Not that type of lost.
So, Emmanuel, how you coming?
Yeah, I'm done.
Emmanuel is done. So, clear this out. So hopefully. So what's our unit cost, Emmanuel?
I got $72.
$72. Is that correct, Pickett?
I don't know, sir. I got 56.
Uh-oh. You got 56.
But you know, I do my best, so you know, I don't know. I can neither confirm or deny.
What do you have, Reynosa?
I don't think I got it correct, so I kind of like stopped trying.
But do you have a cause? I just need to.
I got 62.
I guess we may be working on this the rest of the day. Rodney?
I got 72 as well.
Oh, got another 72. Chester?
I got 70.
She got 70.
72. I'm sorry. I got cut off.
Taiwo?
$72.
72.
A lot of 72s here. Kyler?
I got 72 as well.
Okay, so let's see how we got 72. We're there for more people, but not everyone. So in this case, when we get ready to do the quantity, we said it was going to take what? 2 ink cartridges, correct?
Correct.
So this number becomes what? 40. And so our raw material cost is 50. Any questions? Now, labor productivity is what?
Five.
10 per hour, 5 per hour, $10 per hour, 5 per hour.
So since we can make 5 an hour, we're going to do what? Divide by 5, we're going to get 2 here. So this is going to be 5, but we need to calculate a POR.
I got 100.
So I'm going to
Me too.
stop here for a second. Let's calculate that POR right here. So everybody, I'm going to stop for 3 minutes. Calculate the POR for me.
It's 100.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, how'd you get 100?
Because 100.
Total overhead is what?
Go ahead, Mendez. Knock it out.
It's 100,000. Quantity is 5,000. And the productivity rate is now 5 per hour. So you divide that by the 5,000 and you get 1,000 labor estimated labor hours.
You're going to have to work 1,000 labor hours.
And then you divide that 1,000 labor hours by the overhead and you get 100 for the POR.
So what she's saying, we take the 100,000 divided by 1,000, we get 100. Then we come back up here and put the 100 right here. Well, we divided the 100 by 5, so what's our answer going to be here?
$20.
Yeah, 20, okay. So when we add all of these up, 52 and 20, how much do we get?
72.
Are there any questions? So begin to work with this. This is a little simpler, and we're only working with one item. So hopefully you're going to be able to work that out. Now, let's go to our in-class problem. And notice, what's the first thing you got to do on that in-class problem? What's the first thing you got to do?
Calculate the raw material.
Well, you got to get the unit cost, selling price, and predetermined overhead rate. Okay, so that's what we have to do. So you all can be working on that. Hopefully got the information. That's the in-class problem. I'm gonna come back to it in a second. But notice now on the spreadsheet, all I've done is copied what's on that Word document and put it right here now. So the top one's on here too, but the simpler bottom one is on here. So when you work problems, you can use this one, you can use this one, or you can use another one, whatever you want. But you come up with those items. Okay. Then we make the journal entries. And we will begin to make those journal entries. And notice I just got them in stage. Stage 1, we buy the raw materials. Stage 2, we do all the work on the item. And every time in stage 2, we debit and work in process. The journal entries are not going to change. You just got to do the calculation. Then stage 3 is when we finish an item, we transfer from work in process to finished goods. So we debit and finished goods and crediting work in process. In stage 4, we sell the item. Whenever we sell inventory, we have to record the cost of goods sold. And we'll talk about it, but we got to record the actual depreciation or the actual overhead and compare it with what we estimated, because in stage 2, we estimated the depreciation. In stage 4, we know what it actually is, and we've got to do something if there's a difference. Stage 5, regular selling and administrative expenses. Pay selling, pay administrative expenses, pay dividends. So let's go back to our little problem. And by next Tuesday, every team will have a problem to work on. Now, in working your problem, what I would suggest is every team member calculate this independently. Anybody can make a mistake. So every team member calculate this independently, compare results, and make sure you got the right number. Because if you don't have the selling price right and the POR right, you're going to miss some things. So let's take about 5 more minutes. Let's take about 5 more minutes. And in this situation, let's see if we can get a unit cost, a selling price, and a POR. The problem starts this way. So let's take 5 minutes. So I think we actually assigned this to team 1, correct? So everybody is helping team 1 come up with unit cost, selling price, and POR. So do we have a unit cost? With all of our new knowledge, do we have a unit cost?
I got 68.
So 68 is given as the unit cost. Well, let's see if we can determine how we got 68. So let's see if we can determine how we got 68 somewhere. So in this problem, the ink was 2 at 10, right? So the raw materials is 10. Takes 2 ink cartridges. So the quantity is 20.
I got 68 as well.
Oh, okay. The labor, what, 3 hours per book? Wait a minute, let me get my other. Oh, we just had one, right? We didn't put the paper in to make it simple. Okay. So the labor was what? The rate was 12.
3 hours at $12.
So if you work 3 hours, $12, how much money you want?
36.
You want $36. So we're going to use that same productivity here, rate. But we got to go through and make our calculations. So what's total overhead in this problem?
4? Oh no, not 4.
600,000.
600,000.
600,000. What's total quantity to be produced?
50,000.
50,000. So how many hours are we going? What's our labor productivity?
3 hours per book.
So how many hours will they need to work?
150,000.
150,000. And so our POR is line 1 divided by 4. So what's our POR going to be? POR going to be
4.
POR is 4. So we can bring that back up here and put a 4. And so now what are we going to have?
4 times 3 is 12.
12. So 20, 36, and 12 is how much?
68.
So everybody should be starting to get fairly comfortable and able to make these calculations. Are there any questions? Let's just talk about the journal entries and then we will go over them on Thursday after we have our requizzing on Thursday. So at the beginning of the period, we'll have a 15-minute requiz. You got the quizzes that we've worked, that's you have all of those quizzes. You have plenty of quizzes to practice on in your team. Y'all practice on those quizzes, realizing you'll see something like that. So we've done the unit cost worksheet. And based on this unit cost worksheet, we said the total cost was 68. And our selling price multiple was what? 68, well, is our selling price multiple?
3. I think it was
Right.
3.
Think it works.
Yeah,
So,
times 3. You get
so what's our
204.
selling price gonna be?
204.
So what we have to do is to make these calculations, and we're estimating the overhead. Ahead of time, so we do have estimated costs, because we have to have a selling price in our catalog on our website, even though the book hadn't been produced, because things are being ordered ahead of time to be shipped later, but they can't order it without a selling price. So we have all of that, and we said our POR was how much in this problem?
4.
Okay, our POR was 4. So with that information, we're now ready to begin making the journal entries that a manufacturing company makes. So,
Professor, I'm sorry. Is this a template that you've given us for Blackboard, or is this something you just have?
I think it may be in there. I think it's in there, but it has the older template, and the one I'm using now just put the simpler template on it. So you can, it would be good if you put the template on it. If you want to use that simpler template, it's going to help you. If you copy it and put it down, or you just retype it in, you're going to get a better feel for it. Okay? So templates are fine, but they're even better if you make them. So I'm going to leave it up to you to put that template on there one way or the other. Okay? If you want the simpler template, which is a good idea, then put it, that's the first thing I want to see when you turn in a template, those assumptions. So you put the template in there. You can type it in all together different, or you can just copy it and paste it from Word, one way or the other. Movie lines open. In stage 1, we're going to purchase the raw materials. And we might form the corporation and buy some equipment and all of that too. Step 2, we're going to make the item. So we debit and work in process each time. Then in step 3, we transfer it out to finished good. That's the goal, to work on it, then transfer it to finished goods. Then in stage 4, we sell it. And we'll do some talking about overhead, because to sell an item, we need a selling price. We got to estimate the overhead. So we estimate the cost. But we come back in here and put in the actual cost. These steps do not change. So this is only 15 or 20 journal entries. This is why I had you doing so many before. So you shouldn't be afraid of 10 or 12 journal entries. And the account's already here. This template's already here. You just got to calculate the dollar amounts. Of course, now you had a template for a unit cost. So you got to work with the template. These are journal entries. And you just got to figure out what goes to journal entry. So Let's see if we can make some journal entries today before we go. So if you saw this information here, can you make these first 3 journal entries? Kyler, what's the first journal entry when we form the corporation? What's that journal entry going to be?
I'm not gonna lie, I got a little lost.
I want you to tell me the journal entry that you make when you form a corporation. But
Is cash
Uh,
in common stock?
it's cash and common stock.
okay.
That's how we form the corporation. So you can't just go out here and start making stuff. You got to form the corporation. And then we're going to buy some equipment with a note. So we're going to buy some equipment with a note. What we're going to do here, Jennifer?
I'm looking. Now we're going to the purchase 800,000. Do you put note payable and cash for 800,000?
I'm going to have to move y'all on camera. I don't think y'all paying attention.
I am.
Yeah,
I'm
I am.
trying.
I'm
Okay.
on camera.
We're going to have to go to campus. I see all of these cell phones on.
You
I
said
have-
purchase
You
800,000.
see?
Oh wait.
Paying
Is
attention.
it equipment? Is it equipment and no payable?
Payable and credit cash.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
She said she's going to debit note payable and credit cash when she bought this equipment.
Is it equipment and no payable?
That sounds better, Rodney. We're going to debit equipment.
Yeah, I saw the word equipment.
Well, you didn't say the word equipment at all.
I guess I like looked over it or something. I don't know, Professor.
Learning virtually can be easier, but you got to pay attention. You got to act like you're in the classroom. Like say on Thursday, I'm not going to assume that I messed up today. I'm not going to assume that. Now, 80% of the grades are 0 before, and I'll take the blame. But after doing all my work today and creating that template today, you got all of those ones to practice on? No. It's going to be up to you to eliminate that 0 that's on the spreadsheet. So by 80% of the people, I got 0s on the first item for this period. It's up to you to do something about it.
So for the purchase, ink, that's supplies. No.
When I make this book, some glue might be some supplies, but if it's a major part of the book, the paper and the ink, that becomes a raw material. We got to keep that separate. We got to control it. It's a major expenditure.
Okay.
We put things in supplies, the glue that we're not trying to control the cost. And so we made it a little simpler. We left out the paper.
Mm-hmm.
So since you know it's not supplies, what you gonna debit?
Raw material.
Okay, raw materials inventory is gonna be debited. And what are we on credit?
Cash.
Okay. All right, my former students, how do we say we buy inventory? What's the standard entry for inventories purchase?
Accounts payable.
We credit accounts payable. We don't give the cash to the delivery driver when he's brought us 110,000 ink cartridges.
Oh yeah, I remember you said that. Okay.
We got to bring the ink cartridges in. We got to count them and make sure we have 110,000 ink cartridges. Then we'll pay them later. So we're going to debit raw materials, ink. Better go to the spreadsheet. So it's already here for you. See that? So the spreadsheet kind of has them on here. You know, it might be good for you to put them on here yourself. But when you buy, whenever you're in stage one, and when you start to buy ink and paper, you're in stage one. So we're gonna make this first entry in stage two, then we're going home. And y'all make that first entry in stage two. And in stage two, we transferred 100,000 ink cartridges to work in process. So when y'all make that entry, we can go home. When you all make that entry, we can go home. Well, now, when we get to class on Thursday, make sure you got your spreadsheets and everything up, okay? Make sure you have your spreadsheets and everything pulled up. So if you look at this and we're going into stage two, we're making the first entry. What do you think that entry might be? Can you all see that?
Yes.
Nicole's laughing. So what do you think that entry is?
You debit the work in process and credit the raw material inventory?
That's all I want. That's all I wanted to hear. I don't know why y'all trying to make it so hard. I just don't know why. So you got a spreadsheet with everything on it, and you got a Word template. So this spreadsheet is in course content. So check course content to see if it's there. Is it in course content?
I didn't know, sir. I don't see it. Let me refresh it. Did you just put it up there?
No, it would have been there. So it's not in course content yet?
No, sir, not in mine.
Okay, so I will put it in course content. I thought it was in there. On the job order, yeah, all of that, if it's in there, it'll be in the job order. But if not, I'll put it in there. Is the template there, that little Word template, is that there? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll put this template in. You'll get a little break till next time, but we'll need to go through these journal entries. And just like calculating the unit cost and selling price is not a major thing. We don't want to make it a major thing that we got to do all of this drudgery type stuff. It's just procedure things. You've been prepared. That's why we review financial accounting. So you go through that financial process. And now we're going through the managerial process. So we're putting some things on at the beginning. Anything for the good of the cause? Any comments for the good of the cause? Are we gonna be ready for our quiz on Thursday at the beginning of the
I was
hour?
just about to ask you about a quiz.
Say what now?
I was just gonna ask about a quiz on Thursday.
Unless y'all want to keep those zeros.
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
What's
Okay, so first 15 minutes, we'll have your quiz there. And it's only gonna be one item. So I'm not gonna give y'all more than one item because I don't want to see the merging that y'all do. So it's gonna be just like the examples we worked today. It's only gonna be one item. Mendez is laughing now.
Well, no, I think I know what I did. So I mean, I don't mind if it's more than one.
I don't know what I did, so.
You don't know,
I think
but from the
I
date,
did.
tell what you did.
Huh?
I'm asking Picky, can she tell what she did from given what we worked on today?
Yes, I know what I did wrong on the second one today. But not when we combining the multiple.
Now, if you had 3 significant others, okay, if you had 3 significant others,
I'm screaming.
would you have them over all at the same time, or would you separate them?
Separate.
Different times.
Separate.
Why can't y'all separate this problem?
Professor, you're
That's what I should have did. I should have separated them.
okay, yeah, because when I had them together, it was just not working out. It was not working out.
So like
And
say,
then
just assume if you had 3 significant others at one time, how you would juggle them, just keep them all separate. You wouldn't have them all over at the same time, So you just got to keep these products separate. But on Thursday, we're going to have you on the straight and narrow, so you only got one to deal with. You only got one product. So it's not going to be any excuses. Who do we have down the coast? Rodriguez up there.
that's her baby. It's her baby boy. Nicole, what's your baby name?
When she was in class before, she was carrying.
Manico Jr.
What?
Manico Jr. That's why sometimes I have to watch the recordings even if I'm here because he screams the whole time during class. Like playfully screams at me the whole time. So here, let me.
When he was in the womb, he was screaming too. And your husband would be there.
I was in your class. I was in your class when he was in the womb too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just many interruptions then too. And her husband would be with her. They'd be trying to get her all. So I remember all of that. Now you remembering?
Yeah. Hello.
So we had a lot. Those were the good old Accounting 1 days.
That was when accounting was really easy.
Yeah, it was really easy then, but we're moving up to bigger and better things. Let me see one thing here. Because on Thursday, you are supposed to have what you are making next time. And so there was a group last time that made this mask. They made this mask. Pretty nice little mask. They sewed it together, cloth, and put the lining in and everything. So your first 25 points on your project come when you show this to us next time. And you showing me what you're making. So you got to do a image of what you're gonna make and submit that. Now, by the end of the semester, you got to have it made. You got to bring it to me on campus. And hopefully that will help you some. You know, you go make something, you go make something, then it might make a little more meaning for you if you make something. So that's why we have that as part of the course. So
So you say it has to be COVID related?
Get more points if it's COVID related, but it doesn't have to be. But just about everything is COVID related.
I mean, I have my own business and making stuff already, so I can just do that.
That's fine. So it's made. Just so it's made. So everybody sees it. That was, if you look at this, you know, you can see the cloth and how they sewed it together and everything. You see that, Mendez? They actually made it.
I think that's talent that I don't have.
What? Talent you don't have?
I don't sew.
Well, you got other people on your team.
So I said I haven't tried it. I'm gonna say that. I haven't tried to.
Better be trying something. All the supply lines are all messed up and everything. So yeah. But you know, it gives you perspective on it. There is a need to think about manufacturing something. I always buy something. So they went on and got the raw material. So you got to buy the raw materials now. Because you know those unit costs y'all that y'all playing with now. You got to have the unit cost for this item. You got to tell me how much it costs to make it. That's when you do the second part of this. So what you're doing is gonna have relevance and have meaning and practicality. You are going to have to tell me how much it costs to make your mask. I hope y'all gonna do a better job than you. I hope you're gonna be able to know how much it costs you to make whatever you make. Nicole, what do you make?
I make skincare from home, so I make like body butters and body scrubs, and I make like body oil.
Do you know how much they cost?
How much what it costs, like to sell it, or how much it costs to make it?
Yeah, how much it costs to make one bottle?
It costs about, I want to say, the smaller containers, the 6 ounces, it takes about $9, and I sell them for 12.
Okay, so that's what we want. So that's what you got to be able to do. You got to say how much it costs and how much you're gonna sell it for. That's what you got to be able to do with your product. How much it costs, how much you're gonna sell it for. The first year, you will lose 100,000 in your business. The second year, you're gonna break even. The third year, you make $1 million. So that's kind of how we operate. And so you're gonna have to do some budget projections and everything to show, okay, if it's a $100,000 loss year, first year in business, this is what things look like. If we break even, this is what things look like. And if we're gonna make $1 million, this is what things look like. So yes, managerial accounting is more difficult because in principles, all you had to do was to make a journal entry, and I told you the amounts. So now I'm telling you what the journal entry is, but you got to calculate all the amounts. So that's a whole lot, different. Okay, so let me see those projects next time. I'll put a link in there for you to send them. I'll get these other things in there. Be ready for a quiz, because that's how we got to start all the problems. And you eventually got a homework problem you got to do, and a midterm you got to do. Starting with calculating the unit cost, selling price of POR. So hopefully we would have done it enough times so you can get there. So you all have a pleasant evening, and let's try to make sure we're paying attention, work on that very diligent as we get through this segment, moving from review to this part of it. And I think we'll get there, but as we did today, we make adjustments when we need to. So we've made the adjustment for next time. Okay, so you all have a good, pleasant afternoon for the rest of your afternoon, and we will see you all on Thursday.
All right, have a good night, sir.
Have a good day.
Bye.